Hello, in this video I'm going to briefly describe the data collection used for contextual driving behavior data. As the main research component of this project and the prerequisite of contextual driving behavior analysis, the multi-source data collection mechanism in this study is built on the Metropia smartphone app and its backend systems, where a GPS module embedded in a smartphone records the second-by-second latitude and longitude data location and instantaneous moving speed. Additionally, the platform also stores geographical transportation network attributes and dynamic traffic condition information, which are essential for performing the contextual driving risk analysis. The multi-source data defines the real activity patterns as when, where, and how an individual driver performs. The risk of the driving patterns are measured by both trip level and individual level measures. In addition, crash history, as well as basic social demographic information of drivers, is also collected through a survey to verify and examine the relationship between the defined driving performance measurements and accident rates. When a user starts a trip with the Metropia app, the internal GPS module built into the smartphone is activated and starts to record the second-by-second data. This data, including the latitude, longitude, velocity, and acceleration, are collected at certain time intervals and sent back to the cloud server for further analysis. This slide shows a list of attributes for each GPS point. User ID is the unique key used to represent a user. Trip ID is the unique ID of a particular trip. We also have location information, including latitude, longitude, and altitude of a GPS point. Heading is the heading of the vehicle at the moment. Timestamp and traveling speed of the vehicle are both fairly self-explanatory. The acceleration can be calculated from instantaneous speed data, and the link ID is the road segment that the user is currently driving on. The Metropia cloud servers host detailed traffic network attributes, like the ones shown in the slide, such as speed limits, facility types, number of lanes, and so on. These are all used in this study. On the Metropia cloud server, the time-varying traffic dynamics, such as traffic speed and traffic flow, for each traversed link are updated every 5 minutes. The link average speeds and link volumes for each road segment are also updated every 5 minutes. This table shows the sample second-by-second trajectory data after combining the roadway geometry dataset and traffic data. This sample shows the data points collected every 6 seconds from 7:58:11 a.m. to 7:58:16 a.m. on April 9, 2016 by the app of the user number 156. In this project, a questionnaire was designed to collect social demographic information and the necessary accident data from participants in order to examine the relationship between crash costs and driving habits. With both trajectory and traffic data stored on the Metropia servers, driving habits, including when, where, and how a user drives, can be fully examined. This questionnaire guides participants through a series of questions that allows them to self-report detailed information on recent accident history. Participants are recruited through email and the Metropia app. Participants' responses are collected using an online survey website. The results of the questionnaire are used in the actuarial analysis to identify driver attributes. The following 2 research methods were conducted to collect accident data. The first was accident detection, which detected abnormal events from driver trajectories that could potentially be accidents. The second was through a research panel, which used Metropia users' self-reporting of vehicle accident history. The objective of accident detection, the first part of this study, was to examine the relationship between claim cost and the trajectories connected to an accident occurrence. With this approach, high-risk driving trajectories can be determined when the accident occurs. This approach is for all qualified users whose trajectory data are received by the server and when abnormal events are detected, such as harsh brakes or unexpected stops on a trip. For the second approach, frequent users who completed more than 10 trips using the Metropia app were invited to participate in the research panel. Historical data about the user's past vehicle accident experiences was collected. Data analysis focused on the relationship between reported crash frequency and the overall driving habits of responders. Combining these two approaches, we built a set of self-reported claim data, linked to either at event trajectories or users' overall trajectories. The two approaches are illustrated in the next figure. As shown in the figure, this study is composed of two methods: accident detection, shown in red, and the research panel, shown in blue. As part of accident detection, if an abnormal event, like a hard brake for example, is detected and the Metropia user confirms a real accident through email communication, the user is selected as a supervised sample, which is depicted in purple. The research panel approach begins with a research panel survey, where Metropia users are asked to provide socio-demographic information, including age, gender, household structure, number of years driving, and the number of accidents in the past. Users who report at least one accident in the past qualify for participating in the supervised sample, in purple. The accident claims survey was distributed to the supervised samples to collect details about insurance claims from the recently reported or detected accident. Users participating in the research panel first received an email invitation to participate in the research panel survey in order to complete their profile. The research team then identified a pool of qualified participants who reported having an accident before. The research team continued recruiting participants until the number of responses in the supervised sample reached the desired number of completed surveys. The survey procedures included the following tasks: survey design, event detection, user communication via email, data quality verification, and incentive delivery, as shown in the figure. To detect an abnormal event, we checked in real time if a user's trajectory data exhibited a deceleration exceeding a certain threshold. If so, the system flagged a hard brake event and sent a notice to a Metropia staff member to contact the user directly to verify if an accident had indeed occurred or not. If an accident was verified and the event was logged, the user was awarded with an incentive. Next, the user was requested to complete an online survey. Once the responses were received, we verified the data and awarded the user for his or her responses. The goals of program participant recruitment were 1. To ensure that Metropia users were informed about the PAYDAYS program, and 2. To recruit active users for additional data collection. Specifically, the scope of work for this task was defined as to recruit users to join the research panel and to report accident history and claim history, and such a recruiting process was repeated regularly until a sufficient number of frequent users were recruited. All Metropia users that participated in the PAYDAYS program and were qualified as frequent users, defined as whoever completed more than 10 trips with the Metropia app, were invited to join our research panel. The target number of research panel participants was 500. The survey process was constructed as a two-step survey, including a research panel survey and an accident claim survey. This figure describes the procedure in one round of the survey and detailed technical and communication actions in each step. In step 1, the main technical actions include selecting candidates for the survey, setting up an online survey to collect responses, storing the responses in a database, verifying the completeness of the responses, and assigning rewards. Users that reported at least one accident in the past 5 years were recruited to answer additional questions related to past accidents. Individualized questionnaires were created for each identified user in order to collect information on details of past accidents and losses, based on his or her reported number of accidents and the time of each accident. Invitation emails were sent out with individual survey links. Similar to Step 1, this process involved collecting responses, storing the responses in a database, verifying the completeness, and assigning rewards. From the beginning of this project to June 15, 2016, the total number of GPS data points was about 311 million. This is equivalent to more than 2.6 million miles traveled and more than 106,000 hours of travel time. The collected data are mostly from 3 cities: Tucson, Austin, and El Paso. The total survey responses from the PAYDAYS program participants reached 525, including 261 from Austin, 215 from Tucson, and 47 from El Paso. The two figures on the slide show the number of trips and the number of GPS points by month. The amount of data collected before the year 2015 was relatively low. A steep and continuous rise in the amount of data can be observed since Metropia officially launched in Tucson in March 2015 and in Austin in May 2015. In recent months, 50% of trajectory data are from Austin, 36% from Tucson, 10% from El Paso, and less than 4% from other cities. This figure shows the number of trips with hard brakes in each month from January 2015 to June 15, 2016. The orange bars are the number of trips with severe hard brakes, which is the deceleration rate greater than 20 feet per second squared. Overall, there are more than 8,700 trips detected with severe hard brakes since January 2015, accounting for about 2.8% of the total trips during this period. In addition, more than 82,000 trips were identified with hard brake deceleration rates greater than 12 feet per second squared, which accounts for about 26.7% of the total trips. From August 2015 through June 2016, the total number of responders to the research panel survey reached 525, and that number has exceeded the target of 500. Additionally, the accident claim responses of the qualified research panelists were collected from 160 distinct users and include details about 258 accidents. Thank you, and should you have any questions or comments about our research, please don't hesitate to contact us via the information provided on the slide.